The Mind series. Episode 5, Mindfulness. Hey everybody, welcome back to the final episode of the Mind series. So quick review. Breath series was the series that reminded us that through breathing, we can change our nervous system from the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight, into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest. So breathing allows us to make that shift. We talked in the body series about how through stretching and moving around, we can release the stress that our body stores. So stretching is a good way to help us let all of that go. Then we started the Mind series, and the Mind series is about asking the question, is there anything possible in the way that I think that is making me more likely to get into fight or flight, or once I get in there, more likely to stay in fight or flight? So we're looking at all these sort of cognitive mechanisms that might keep us there in fight or flight. So we talked about reframing, we talked about decatastrophizing, and several others. Well, this last bit, we're coming back to the idea of mindfulness. So the last episode was on what I call cognitive mindfulness, and that's being aware of my thoughts, remembering that I'm not my thoughts. And this last episode, we are talking in episode 5 about sensory mindfulness. So I'm being aware of the information that my senses are giving me. So let me explain what sensory mindfulness looks like, and then I'll talk about why it's so important. So I'm going to practice sensory mindfulness right now. I've got this cup of tea that I just made. So what I'm asking is, what are my senses telling me in this moment with this cup of tea in front of me? Well, my eyes are telling me that there's a cup of a color of brown. The cup is white. There's water in the cup. My nose is telling me English breakfast, tea. My hands, I feel the warmth of the cup right now. I see a little bit of steam rising out of that. My ears, the cup is not sending my ear any information, but my ears are hearing the hum of the computer in front of me and the other studio equipment. I feel my clothes on my body, and then I can take a sip of the tea. Yep, and I taste a little bit of lime, and I taste the English breakfast tea, the black tea. So that's me in this moment, being aware of everything that the 5 senses and what they're telling me. You know, what I feel, what I hear, what I taste, or what I smell, what I touch, things like that. So that's essentially what sensory mindfulness is. It's a state of being aware of sensory information. So you say, what's the point? What does that have to do with stress? Well, here's the deal. When I take time and purposefully focus on sensory information, when I say, what do my eyes see in this moment? What do my ears hear in this moment? What is my body feeling in this moment physically? What is my nose smelling? Then what I'm not doing is thinking about all the reports that I have to write. I'm not thinking about that difficult conversation I have to have with a parent. I'm not thinking about any other I'm thinking about what is happening in the moment. So what I can do then is create focused experiences where I say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to light a candle that has a particular visual presentation, and it has an odor. There's an olfactory presentation. I'm going to put on some soft music that I can focus on. I'm going to sit in a very comfortable chair, and I'm going to set this experience up for this moment so that my senses can sort of be at work. And then I let my senses do their thing, and I pay attention to that information. So that's it. That is sensory mindfulness. And the more we do that, the more we can shift our thinking from what's bothering us and what we're worried about into, well, what's going on in the moment, that I can break the pattern of repetitive thought and focus on the here and now, what's happening in the moment, to calm myself and relax myself. So again, that is what sensory mindfulness is. It's just being aware of all of what's happening around me in a given moment, and that breaks me out of the cycle of getting into these thought loops that take me down to dark places. So that's the end of the Mind series. Again, we talked about decatastrophizing. We talked about the time tests and all kinds of other strategies that we can use to keep our thinking where it needs to be in that great spot, that we're not adding to our stress by getting mentally stuck in that loop. And again, sensory mindfulness is a great technique. So I encourage you to practice that. Get an odor that you enjoy, maybe an essential oil, maybe a candle that you like the smell of, a shirt or something that you like the way it feels when you wear it. Find some great music that you like to listen to that calms you down, and keep that around with you. Keep it in your car, keep it in your office, and go to it and just let yourself engage in the sensory experience of those things. And again, a great tool to snap us out of stress. Okay, I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you again for the next episode. Take care.